This episode is built around one unifying theme: children paying the emotional price for adult sins, and the people who either try to protect them or exploit them. At the emotional core of the hour is Marlena Evans, a woman who has survived possession, kidnappings, near-death experiences, and unimaginable loss, yet finds herself most shaken not by her own condition, but by the suffering of the next generation. Marlena's hospital bed becomes symbolic. She is physically confined, stripped of control, forced to watch her family unravel without being able to step in and fix it. For someone like Marlena, that helplessness is far more terrifying than illness. Belle Black's role in this episode is subtle but crucial. Belle is not there to deliver miracles or dramatic revelations. She is there to absorb Marlena's fear so it doesn't consume her. Belle understands her mother better than almost anyone. She knows Marlena's pattern, how she internalizes blame, how she replays every parental decision, how she believes that if something goes wrong with her children or grandchildren, it must somehow trace back to her. Belle's reassurance is not naive optimism. It's damage control. She tries to remind Marlena that Brady is actively parenting differently than John ever did, that Rachel is not alone, and that institutional help does not automatically equal abandonment. But Marlena's concern goes deeper than logic. She is not just worried about Rachel's present circumstances. She is terrified of what Salem does to children who grow up in chaos. Marlena has watched this cycle repeat itself for decades. She has seen how untreated trauma turns into addiction, rage, manipulation, and self-destruction. In Rachel, she sees a child already showing signs of emotional fracture, and Marlena knows exactly how easily that fracture can become permanent if mishandled. That fear never fully leaves her, no matter how calm Belle tries to make her feel. Rachel's storyline is perhaps the most emotionally devastating thread of the episode because it is handled quietly. There are no big speeches from the child, no melodramatic outbursts, just a steady sense of emotional overload. Bayview may be a medical facility, but to Rachel it feels like exile. Her mother is gone. Her uncles are gone. Her world has once again collapsed without explanation. Children don't process events the way adults do, they personalize them. Rachel doesn't see Bayview as protection, she sees it as punishment. Brady's scenes with Rachel reveal a man who is painfully aware that he is walking a tightrope. On one side is his fear that he waited too long to intervene, that Kristen's influence and chaos have already done irreversible damage. On the other side is his fear that by placing Rachel in Bayview, he has confirmed her worst belief, that the adults in her life get rid of her when she becomes too much. Brady is trying desperately to break a generational curse, but he is doing so without a clear roadmap, and that uncertainty shows. Tate's presence is important because he represents something Rachel desperately lacks: normalcy. Tate isn't her parent, isn't part of the DiMera war machine, isn't connected to Kristen's legacy of manipulation. He is simply someone who shows up. In Salem, that alone is powerful. Tate helping Brady comfort Rachel subtly reinforces the idea that healing doesn't always come from authority figures. It often comes from peers and consistency. Still, even with their support, Rachel remains emotionally unmoored, and the show makes it clear that comfort alone may not be enough. While the emotional stakes with Rachel are rooted in fear and vulnerability, Xander and Sarah's scenes explore control and insecurity. Xander's decision to grill Sarah about her relationship with Brady is not about curiosity, it's about territory. Xander has always equated love with possession, loyalty with exclusivity. The moment he senses a connection he can't regulate, his instinct is to interrogate. The irony is that Sarah's friendship with Brady is grounded in shared responsibility and maturity, qualities Xander often struggles to maintain. Brady is dealing with his daughter's mental health crisis, not chasing romance, but Xander's insecurities twist that reality into suspicion. His questioning crosses an unspoken line, because it suggests that Sarah owes him explanations for relationships that existed before him and exist independently of him. Sarah's response is pivotal because it signals where she stands emotionally. If she indulges Xander's questioning, she reinforces his belief that scrutiny equals care. If she pushes back, she asserts her autonomy and challenges Xander to grow beyond his impulses. Either way, this moment plants seeds of tension that will not simply fade. It exposes a fundamental issue in their dynamic: trust versus control. The episode's most explosive energy, however, belongs to Kristen DiMera, whose confrontation with EJ takes place in the DiMera crypt, a location heavy with symbolism. The crypt is not just a family tomb. It is a reminder that DiMera power is built on secrets, betrayals, and bodies buried both literally and figuratively. Kristen's accusations echo through that space with extra venom because they come from a place of maternal terror. Kristen is not confronting EJ as a sister, she is confronting him as a mother who believes her child may have been sacrificed for strategy. Kristen's love for Rachel is twisted at times, overprotective and manipulative, but it is also genuine. The idea that EJ could have orchestrated events leading to Rachel's institutionalization, or used the chaos surrounding her disappearance to advance his own agenda, represents an unforgivable sin in Kristen's eyes. What makes this confrontation especially dangerous is Kristen's